Welcome to Anime Out of Context, a comedy review show where a man completely immersed in anime culture torments his co-host, who is only allowed to watch the shows featured here. If you'd like to support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/animeoutofcontext. Alongside over 100 hours of exclusive bonus material, all episodes uploaded to Patreon are completely ad-free, even to non-patrons. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And honestly, I think about 75% of all anime are expendable.
I'm Sean Rollins.
I'm Remington Chase.
How final option of you, sir. Nah, Remington. It's still February. You know what that means.
We share our love.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And today we're going to share our love of one of our favorite things, Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, Pokemon in February. It's how it goes.
Yeah, because everybody loves Pokemon. Why else do people constantly take lists about picking their favorite Pokemon, and it almost always seems to be Gardevoir or Lopunny?
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
All right, okay. It's been a while since we've done some Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. And today, in part due to the fact that me and Dylan are in the process of a move and we need something nice and simple, I figured we would cover a fun little TV special of Pokemon.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah. Tell me, Rem, have you heard of Pokemon Origins?
Oh, it sounds too generic for me to remember whether I know of it or not.
So, we've watched a lot of Pokemon, both in our free time and on the podcast, Rem.
Yeah.
And because of it, we're very familiar with one certain individual, that being Ash Ketchum.
Yep, gotta catch them all.
Yeah, well, he's not in this.
Okay, but it's one of the old ones, not the new ones that he's also no longer in.
Correct. Because, Rem, what this is, it is a 4-episode TV special attempting to retell, like, in an abridged way, the story of the original Red and Blue Pokemon games.
Oh, interesting.
Or Red and Green, if you prefer the Japanese localization.
I feel like I knew that this existed, but I don't know if I've seen this.
Yeah, and I mean, that's completely all right, because that means that we can turn it into content.
Hey, there we go.
And it's interesting because, like, it very much feels like a love letter to the franchise in a lot of ways, because, you know, it's just 4 20-minute episodes that go through the entirety of the original first-generation Pokemon games, with the original characters being Red and Green.
Oh, so on the topic of games, hey, Sean, do you mind if I immediately jump into a tangent?
You know, it wouldn't
Do you mind if I immediately derail this episode?
It wouldn't be a comedy review podcast that we're running if you didn't.
So, Sean, I have a question for you.
Okay, Ram.
What is your favorite strange Pokemon game, all right? So one that's not about...
So not a mainline?
Not their traditional cycle. Yeah, not a mainline. We're talking... Because there have been a lot of just, like, weird, sort of peripheral Pokemon games. And I already have a couple in mind for me.
Well, I mean, the cop-out answer is probably Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah, Mystery Dungeon is real solid. Mystery Dungeon, it's so popular that it's like borderline mainline, but it's weird enough that I'll still allow it.
Because that was the other Pokemon game I played a shit ton of, was Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah. And then like Pokemon Snap, of course, is very popular.
Yes. Because like, who doesn't like taking fun pictures of your favorite Pokemon?
Pokemon Pinball is a significant one.
I mean, it's just pinball. Who doesn't love pinball?
There was, I can't remember what it was, but there was a Pokemon game on the DS where you had to fucking spin around.
Oh, that was
thing.
Pokemon Dash, I think?
It might have been, yeah, and you have to spin like a fucking million times as things are moving erratically. And God, that game, I loved it, but it gave me carpal tunnel.
Yeah, like it was like a weird racing game as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was also like Pokemon Tetris. I don't know.
Yeah, you shove a Pikachu next to some blocks and then they all explode.
I that one I never fully understood, if I'm being honest. But I played it because it had Pokemon on it. But you want to know my number one, all right, that I remember fondly?
What's that, Rem?
That I also don't see discussed ever?
Okay.
Pokemon Channel.
You know what?
Are you familiar?
I am. And also, I think this might be the first time I've thought of it in maybe a decade.
For those who don't know, Pokemon Channel, it was a game for GameCube. And very simply, you watch television, I think with Pikachu.
Yes.
And there's different channels. There's a shopping channel. There's some trivia channels. There's weather. There's all sorts of fun channels, and there's different locations you can go to. You can get different decorations, different TVs, so you can watch in different fun ways. And I look, I don't know if it holds up because it is a lot of just vibing.
Mm-hmm.
But as a kid, just vibing with Pokemon related shit, that was dope. I loved that. Like there was just something about it. I hold it so fondly in my heart, even though it's in such an obscure place of my brain.
Yeah, like genuinely, Rem, I can't think of the last time fucking Pokemon Channel popped into my head.
I might have completed it. I might have gone 100% on that son of a bitch.
Wow. Because when I had my GameCube, the main Pokemon game I played on that was Colosseum. Yeah.
Yep.
And XD Gale of Darkness.
Yeah.
Because my GameCube was the special XD Gale of Darkness edition.
Oh yeah. You like that was a fun one to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to weird Pokemon games, Pokemon Channel, that's where it's at. What's your number one weird one? Are you gonna stick with Mystery Dungeon?
I think I'm gonna stick with Mystery Dungeon, man, because like it just has so much reasonable personality.
And then when you get fucking bullied by, it was an Alakazam, a Gengar?
I think so.
And there was a third, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You'd get bullied by them. Yeah, that was just good time. All right, what were we talking about? What are we watching?
Well, I mean, honestly,
Pokemon.
That tangent.
It's the most irrelevant tangent I've had in a long time.
It's true. But I mean, that is kind of what this episode we're doing is about, Rem. It's about, like, reminiscing on Pokemon and why we love it so much, and whether or not us watching this this lovely little TV special is good representation of all the things that make Pokemon wonderful and memorable for us. Because, I mean...
You know what I'm hoping for from this series?
Just cute Pokemon doing cute things.
You're damn right, because consistently one of the best parts of any Pokemon show is just the little fun world-building details of Pokemon just vibing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, Pokemon just doing their shit, it's consistently great.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope, don't get me wrong, there will be a story, there will be characters, we'll need to follow them, but I hope that there's enough room to have Pokemon just fucking around.
Yeah, and, like, it very much is, like, I would describe it as a hyper-condensed series of vignettes of, like, the story of Red and Green, which if you don't know the story, I don't think this would be good for you, but if you're watching this, you're probably already a big Pokemon fan.
It's for a specific audience.
Yeah, so I think the goal of this is, one, for us to just have a good time and enjoy the vibes of Pokemon and talk about what makes that great, as well as to see if this succeeds at being just a lovely little thing to entertain Pokemon fans.
All right, sounds dope. Let's do this shit.
Yeah, so I think without further ado, let's go watch all 4 episodes of Pokemon Origins. And we are back after watching all 4 episodes of the 2013 TV special Pokemon Origins. And tell me, Rem, did it live up to your expectations as a little treat for the fans of the Pokemon universe, or did this feel like a corporate espionage act like your cynical brain wants it to tell you?
Well, you can definitely tell that. Look, the Pokemon Origins, it's a love letter, especially to the games, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's neat to see. We get all of the greatest hits. If you've played the games, you know exactly what to expect.
Yes, like this isn't a series filled with surprises, right? This is for the fans.
A trainer shows up. He catches a bunch of stuff. He fights through the gyms. He wins. He has a rival. It's just, the main.
It's just Pokemon.
it's just Pokemon. Very, very condensed. One thing I will note, occasionally, this anime will just get, vicious, and I noticed it in episode 1, where Red and Green, they're doing a little Pokemon battle, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it's Charmander versus Squirtle. And at one point, Green is like, all right, Squirtle, bite. And you expect, big cartoonish chomp, right? No, it's
like we're taught in the anime.
Yeah, it's like a fucking rabid dog. It's just trying to, gnaw Charmander's face off.
Uh-huh.
And that's a wild first battle of the show. Where you just have these cute little Pokemon that they like hold like babies and it's real cute. And then it's just trying to chew the other's face off. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
It's not really beating the Pokemon as dogfighting allegations, is it?
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. Yeah, there's quite a bit of random brutal shit in episode 2. They just like explicitly detail that like, oh, hey, look, it's Team Rocket killing Cubone's mom in front of the poor baby.
Yeah, which isn't as direct in the games, I feel.
Yeah, I was like, was that?
It was a thing that happened, yeah, but it wasn't like something that was done in such a way that it traumatized.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember that cutscene in the game.
No. It wasn't as explicit, let's say.
Oh man. So yeah. Broad strokes. That's the plot that you get. Very straightforward. It's jarring because first episode we really just like get started. It's a little fast the first episode, but it's understandable. Go to Oak, fight your rival, meet Brock, get some motivation, end up learning. Oh, I need to challenge Brock, and end up beating Brock, right? Through largely Brock teaching during the battle, which I think is a-okay. That's fine, and they explain it well, and it all works out. So it's a little bit speedy, but I'm like, okay, all right. Then with the start of episode 2, it starts the tradition that will follow in the other episodes as well. A montage skipping over 20% of everything.
Yes. Yes.
Within this montage, we skip Misty entirely. Could have been interesting because, you know, he chose Charmander. That might have been his most difficult gym. Don't worry about it. We skip Surge. We skip all the way to Lavender Town, all right? We just say, fuck all this shit before that.
Yep.
And I understand. I think the way they do it is flawed. And it kind of brings me to this point. Look, I think a reasonable question to ask is, if you're not a fan of the games, right? Or even more so, if you're not a fan of Pokemon at all, could you enjoy this? No.
No.
Fucking shot. All right. If you don't like Pokemon, and especially if you don't like the games, this is a very bad show on its own. It is an actively terrible show.
Yes.
When we get to episode 3, right, the stuff that it skips over, a bunch more gym badges, of course, but also, like, episode 3 is all about Giovanni, the big bad. But in the opening montage, it skips over the first encounter with Giovanni.
Yeah, that does kind of take some of the emotional punch out of it, doesn't it?
When it's like, yes, we meet again. And it's like, oh yeah, because you got yada yada'd over, but I guess you're going to be really important, I suppose.
But hey, if you played the game, you know, Rem. You already know. So why rehash it in the show?
It's just a wild choice. It's a wild decision. I think the episode is called Giovanni.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of Giovanni.
Yeah.
But it yada yada's over meeting Giovanni. and then in a show that's so fucking rushed, right? Everything going at light speed.
Yep.
Giovanni is they decide to indulge Giovanni. They decide to go all into Giovanni and be like, hey, let's get into his backstory, actually. Red is going to disband this whole crime syndicate. How is he going to do it? Because when Giovanni's like, here's a gym badge, an 11-year-old says, nah, I don't want it because you're bad. And then this adult crime lord who's responsible for many lives lost, he's like, once again, they're stealing Pokemon and there's so much animal cruelty involved. But also, they like kidnap and rob people. Like, it's not that they're just harming Pokemon, they're harming everybody. They are a full crime syndicate.
Oh yeah, like this is like full-ass mafia shit.
Yeah, causing active harm and damage to everybody they come across. But an 11-year-old being like, no, you're bad, so I don't want your badge. Giovanni 100% is just like, all right, no more Team Rocket anymore. Straight up, that's how fast it is. That's
yes.
how 2 lines, just a quick back and forth.
It's almost like, the original reason in the game was him constantly getting beaten by this kid eventually made him be like, if I can't beat one kid, what the fuck's the point? But rather, they tried to what if we did this to make it feel a little better?
Well, and then
just
towards
fails horribly.
the end of episode 3, they have Giovanni look out into the sunset and being like, I'm gonna be a good guy now. Motherfucker, what are you talking about? Don't get me wrong. Hey, we can all change, all right? I believe in rehabilitation. It's gonna take a bit fucking more than an insane motherfucker looking to the sunset. You can't just have a movie that's 90% depicting the atrocities of Joseph Stalin and then just end it with him looking at a beautiful sunset, having him be like, maybe there is beauty in the world, and I should recognize that more. Put on some sentimental music. I'm not rooting for him still. That's not how that works.
Especially considering how things end with Joseph Stalin.
It's crazy. Episode 3 is crazy. We also, another thing we skip over are the evolutions.
Oh yeah. The most emotional, impactful moments of your Pokemon career. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially the first evolution where it's like, oh my god, yada yada, it's a Charmander now, yada yada, if it's fucking Charizard, who cares? Nobody has any personalities except for Green and Giovanni, because there's just no time. There's no time for personalities. We gotta keep moving. Things need to happen, and they need to happen now.
Look, Game Freak only gave us 4 episodes to tell a whole game's worth of story. We gotta do something, man.
Oh god. And so it's like, okay, Charmander and Charizard, they're the closest buddy, I guess. Okay, all this is just to build up episode 4, right? The big final episode. Obviously,
Yep.
we know he's gotten all the badges, right? And now it's going to be Elite 4 fight, and then he's gonna end up having to fight Green, and maybe we'll have a big great battle. The battles have been kind of whatever, because they gotta rush them. They gotta go.
But we do have time for a Squirtle to bite the hell out of a Charmander.
God, and it really did. So episode 4. I'm imagining at least a big climactic battle with Green. We skip over the Elite 4. Disappointing, but expected. I mean, that's just the yada yada shit out of it. And then, turns out you gotta fight Green. Okay, perfect. And then beats Green very quickly. Very quickly. We are a third of the episode in, and I thought it was how it was gonna end. Little did I know they also wanted to include the fucking epilogue to the games, which I'm gonna love with you. Probably a mistake. I don't think I don't think that helps the already fucked pacing. Just have Red be the champion and be like, wow, look at him go, and that's a fine ending. But no, instead, you need him to, 1, go and finish the Pokedex, 2, start hearing rumors about Mewtwo, 3, go...
and Mega Evolution.
And Mega Evolution, which you're trying to be so faithful to the original games! Why the fuck are you just throwing Mega Evolution in there?
Cause Rem, this is when X and Y came out.
I know it is, but it's such a dumb decision. And so, to catch Mewtwo with the help of Mega Evolve to Charizard, and then you get to end the show. It's so look. It's a terrible show, all right? It's god awful. It's utter trash. But I didn't have a bad time with it, right?
Well, no.
It's a fun
Pokemon.
novelty.
How could you?
Yeah, it's a fun novelty. You get to relive that nostalgia a bit and be like, hey, yeah, that's fun. But that's all it is. It's only a fun novelty. It's a trash show. And that's okay. It's okay, all right? Funnel cake is a trash food, and if you go to the fair, enjoy it because it's great, right?
Until a few hours later when you regret what you've eaten.
yeah. It's just how it goes. It's so there's so many baffling decisions. Because even knowing that it's condensed, right? why did it have to be this condensed? And also, they condense a bunch and then they stretch out certain moments.
Yes.
And if anything, I think it would have been, like, fully vignette this shit, all right?
Yeah.
Like, each episode has 4 to 6 vignettes. Maybe a couple are longer, maybe a couple are shorter. But that lets you extend out a little bit. Like, we don't need a full episode about Charmander evolving, but a 2 to 3 minute vignette would be nice.
Just like the look of happiness on Red's face seeing his boy grow.
Yeah, then we get to feel their bond a little bit more. That would have been such a better structure. Each gym, most of the gyms just get probably a minute and a half, nothing too much, but some gyms will get like a 5-minute long thing, and that'll be fairly enjoyable. But instead they do the format where 8 things get 5 seconds apiece, and then one thing will be extended, if anything, a bit long. I don't understand their priorities. I'm so confused at the construction of it.
Well, maybe I can break down some of the construction of it for you.
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, so I said Game Freak earlier. That was a misnomer. It's Game Freak only handles the games, obviously. But the Pokémon Company is what they're called, the licensors of everything. And would you believe me if I told you that for these 4 episodes, 3 different studios worked on it? Maybe that puts a little bit of clarity on why the direction might have been a little all over the place.
Yeah.
No. Production IB, Zebek, and OLM. 3 vastly different companies worked on this, and it was all paid for by the Pokemon Company. And let me just put some things in perspective for you. Production IG, the original studio behind Attack on Titan. OLM, the studio behind, believe it or not, granted this is years later, but Odd Taxi. And Studio Zebek, which is the studio behind nothing you would recognize because it's mostly garbage. Because if I said the phrase "to love Rue," you probably would be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Or Love Hina, or Shuffle. Yeah, no. Oh, wait. One you would know. Keijo.
Oh, what was that? Was that the one where they fight each other with asses? Is that one?
Yep, and titties.
Oh God! What a set of studios to bring into this,
Yeah, it's almost like they wanted a good product to coincide with the release of X and Y to get people hyped for it, while also giving folks a little bit something different from Pokemon, because especially around this time, people were clamoring for Pokemon to, I don't know, have a bit more grit to it, I suppose you could say. A bit more to it, rather than just the same thing we've had for 20 years.
It's just weird that the grit comes through here. It comes in this form.
Yes.
Because
it's
it's not wildly consistent with the grit, right?
Nope.
It's not like, oh yeah, this is the more realistic, intense Pokemon. No, it's like, hey, look, it's silly Pokemon. Holy fuck, what the hell?
Yes. It's like they couldn't fully commit one way or the other.
Yeah, I'm insanely confused about just this whole thing. I think that if you like Pokemon, and if you played the games, right, if you have a great nostalgia for them and a love for them, you will enjoy yourself. I enjoyed myself. This is one of the worst shows, just quality-wise, we've seen. It is a goddamn mess. It is hardly cohesive in any meaningful way. But it knew what it needed to be, right? It knew the assignment, and the assignment was to just provide enough fun, nostalgic bullshit that people would enjoy. And it did that. It did it.
It just also wildly confused you for the better part of an hour and a half.
Oh yeah, because oh my God. The choices it makes were bafflingly incompetent.
would you say the most wild choices we've ever seen in a Pokemon property, or do you still think Talking Pikachu takes the cake on that regard?
Don't remind me of Talking Pikachu. That fucked me up for a long time.
It still fucks me up, Rem. Some days I wake up in a cold sweat hearing, "It's because I love you," in the most sickly voice ever. And I'm just like,
I hate it.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Oh, God.
Pokemon has no chill.
Pokemon has no chill. It's true. We've known that since day one of us covering any Pokemon. Pokemon has no chill. From, like, what was it, BDSM Charizard to fucking killing off Ash in a movie to all the insane stuff that has happened throughout the years.
It's a wild ride every single time. And I will also note one last thing. They didn't give nearly enough just fun Pokemon moments. There were a handful, there were brief glimpses, right? Mm-hmm. But it was always only the briefest of glimpses because it's in such a fucking rush. Oh my God.
Right.
And so that was a little bit unfortunate. What the fuck is this? What the fuck was any of this?
It was everything I described to you, and that's it.
Yep.
Look, man, I couldn't have prepared you more for this than I did, right? Like, if I had told you anything additional, you would have been like, but why? So instead, you're just in a but why, but I didn't have to go through the extra effort.
Yep.
Oh, man. But at least you had fun, right?
Yeah.
Because it's Pokemon. Biases.
It's enjoyable. I'm simultaneously like, having more episodes would make it an objectively better show, and also one I'd be less interested in watching. Because I think a lot of the appeal is just that you can get 4 quick episodes of nostalgia in and out, then you're done. Whereas if there was more, if there was more, I think the required investment would not scale equivalent with the growth in quality, and thus it would be a worse experience.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, I'm glad we did this, Rem, because I love being able to flabbergast you with just, like, the simplest of things.
Oh, God. Yeah.
It's a ride, Rem. It's a ride that we both had to go on together, and I'm glad we did. Because despite all this, you still love Pokemon, don't you, Rem?
Pokemon's great.
Yeah,
Asterisk.
It's wonderful.
I've been tuned out of Pokemon for 5 generations now, more. I don't know. But Pokemon.
When was the last time you played a proper Pokemon game, Rem?
Oh fuck!
And I'm not talking about a Pokemon channel.
Are you talking about the last time I personally played one, or the most recent game that I've played of Pokemon?
Most recent chronologically, because I think the last one you played was with me. Yes. We got very angry at each other.
All right. Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna look up Pokemon games and give you an answer.
Did you play one on the DS?
I think so.
Okay. So either that means the last Pokemon you played was probably either Black and White 2, or Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it was Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. I think that's just a good 15 years ago is when I started to tune out of it. Let me tell you though, before that, I was like the fucking guy. I was hyper invested. Oh man, there was. Does this still exist? There were multiple bootleg Pokemon MMORPG. Multiple.
Oh,
of
yeah.
And I enjoyed all of those. They might still exist, in some form or another. They were all very similar.
Okay. All right. So then, Rem, here's something fun for you. I'm going to randomly generate a Pokemon from Gen 9. And I want you to tell me if you think that this is going to be your boy or not. Because I feel like when you rated all of the Pokemon by fuckability years ago, I don't think Gen 9 had come out by that point.
All right.
So let's see. Gen 9 Pokemon. Give me one, and let's see. And based on this, okay, that's funny as fuck. Based on this one Pokemon, I want you to tell me if Pokemon design-wise are cooked or not.
Okay.
All right. So you're going to be looking. I love that this is the one that it grabbed, but I can't help it. From Gen 9, the Paldea region. This. What are your thoughts on on my boy? On my boy Cloth.
that's a Sean Pokemon if I've ever seen it. That is such a Sean Pokemon.
What's that supposed to mean?
That is a maximally Sean Pokemon. That's going immediately on Sean's team.
You're saying when I played through Gen 9, the second I saw this crabby boy, he immediately joined my team?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It is a big crab, and I love crabs. He's a big derpy crab. How could I not love him?
It's going on your team with Bellsprout and there was another awkward Pokemon I assigned to you. I can't remember.
There have been so many. God, I'm sure if you've assigned it to me like in podcast form, people will be like, oh, obviously it was Bellsprout and something or other, but you do seem to always apply awkward Pokemon to me, regardless of.
It feels right. Was it like it might have been Scraggy?
I think Scraggy was a Dylan Pokemon.
I don't know. I think it might have been a Sean Pokemon.
I don't know. I just feel like a lizard with baggy pants suits Dylan better than it does me.
I don't think it's dark enough for Dylan.
What about its evolved version?
Let me pull it up. So Scraggy evolves into Scrafty.
Yep.
Dylan might have the evolved form, but you have Scraggy for sure.
Yeah, but I feel like it was a different awkward Pokemon that you assigned to me.
Yeah,
I know Bellsprout's the big one because like the first time I asked you the question of like, hey, what Pokemon gives you the most Sean energy, and you came back with Bellsprout, I was offended to the highest degree. But do you think Cloth's a good Pokemon design? Do you think they still got some kind of magic going, or do you think Pokemon is on a dark pathway?
Look, man. Every time there's hits, there's misses. It's just coming up with little freaky guys and puns, lots of puns.
And you think Cloth is a good little freaky guy?
Yeah, I think it works. Unlike Digimon, which has been sort of washed since the beginning, just with the no rhyme or reason or congruity.
Yes, this cat eventually evolves into a beautiful angel woman.
Yeah, they from the get-go, Digimon. And look, this isn't even a critique of Digimon. If anything, that's one of its strengths, but also Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
Well, hey, I'm sure we'll have you browse through the various Pokedexes one day, and then you'll figure out another you'll just put together a master list of Pokemon that are just like the quintessential Sean Pokemon, and then
I will.
You'll meme it into existence, and then everybody will immediately be like, ah, yes, the Sean Pokemon. You can't have anything else.
Oh, fuck.
But hey, that's the joy of Pokemon. Even a cynical man like you, can have so much fun with these silly little guys.
Yep.
So I guess, any guesses on what the mouse score for this is? Might be a hard one for you to gauge.
Oh, man. No. I think the only people watching this are going to be fans. I don't know,
fans of Pokemon, or fans of us.
7.72. Who the fuck knows, man? It's in a weird liminal space. Is
that your final answer?
Sure, it's not for mass market consumption, so it could be anywhere.
It's just for mass market Pokemon fan consumption.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it has a surprising 160,000 ratings, Rem.
Oh.
And it's sitting nice and pretty at 7.73. Dude, that's your closest one in a hot minute.
It's weird because I feel like even I don't remember what it was, but the last one I got close was also just like a weird one-off that was like also I had no idea how to gauge it, but I happened to get right there. Apparently I'm doing well with the ones with high variability,
which is wild because the amount of times you've been so wildly off on those is equally concerning. I don't know, man. Maybe you're getting even better at this, which is insane to think. But I guess with that in mind, final question for you. Keep this a nice, short, silly episode. Any chance you'd want to watch more? Probably not Pokemon Origins, but like we're gonna watch more Pokemon together, right?
Yeah, more Pokemon, solid. Even if they made more Pokemon Origins, probably not that interested in it.
No, there's not another Pokemon Origins, but there's one called Pokemon Generations out there. And I know nothing about it. Yeah, like I think it was an original Netflix animation, if I remember correctly, about like all of the generations.
Oh man,
I can't remember. I'll look into it and we'll cover it. Because I mean, granted, Rem, it's been 4 years since we've covered Pokemon.
Yeah,
and I think we need to cover more Pokemon. 1, because it's fun, and 2, because Rem, do you know just how many Pokemon like shows and spin-offs and movies there are?
Endless.
Yeah, we're not in the triple digits yet, but you know. It just feels like a matter of time at this point.
Yeah.
So I think with that in mind, thank you all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. If you enjoy myself and Remington just getting completely lost in the sauce and talking about things not related to the show, yet still weirdly related to the show, then please head on over to wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a review. They mean the world to us, and we do read every single one. And if that is not enough for you, twitch.tv/anime out of context, where you can watch myself, Dylan, and Remington occasionally play video games very poorly. And if that is still not enough for you, patreon.com/anime out of context, where you gain access to all kinds of lovely bonus material, including having the opportunity to be thanked live on the podcast. So, Rem, who we thanking this week?
Sean, I think I figured out your team. As you were doing that ramble.
That quickly. Quickly.
Yeah, I feel good about it. I feel very good about it, actually.
Do you want to do it now or save it till the end of the Patreon reads?
Let's do it now.
Okay, all right.
So, all right. So, obviously, you got your boy Bellsprout, all right?
Okay.
And Cloth. Now he's there.
He's a guarantee, huh?
Yeah, he's fucking locked in, dude.
You saw Cloth and you're like,
That's a Sean-ass Pokemon.
Crab,
yeah, that's a Sean-ass Pokemon if I've ever seen one, dude. Like, then Go-Goat.
Okay.
Then Appleton.
The apple pie one?
Yep.
I hilariously, Rem, that I love the entire Apple line.
See?
Like, those are some of my favorites.
Slowbro.
Slowbro.
Yeah.
Standard ass Slowbro?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Because let's see, what's not Galar. Galar Slowbro, he's too much of a freak. He's
a little too freaky. He got that shoulder on his hand, and it's like, oh no, I don't know if we can fly with that. That's a little too much.
No, actually, scratch it. You're getting Slow King, and then you're getting Lopunny.
Okay.
Because
right.
Judy Hobson the Pope.
Oh, I see.
So you need Judy Hobson the Pope on your team. So Bellsprout, Cloth, Go-Go, Appleton, Slow King, and Lopunny. That's your team. That's the Sean Rollins team.
I need to write that down just for future reference. Because I'll 100% forget again. Where the fuck is my notes?
It's beautiful. It's so good.
Okay, so you said Bellsprout,
Cloth, Go-Goat, Appleton, Slow King, and Lopunny.
Dare I ask why Go-Goat?
Felt right.
It just felt right.
Yeah, it's a grass goat. I don't know. It feels right.
I mean, hey, I do love Go-Goat, like unironically.
Yeah, it's just
like I think the silliest thing, Rem, is the fact that of your list of as you say, the perfect Sean-coded Pokemon, 3 of them are genuinely some of my favorites from their respective generations.
Yeah, dude, I feel it. I know it. All right, this is. It was perfect. It was perfect.
Because like I had a Go-Goat in when I played Y. I had a Cloth when I was playing Scarlet. I had an Appleton when I was playing Sword. Like,
yeah.
I mean, granted, I also had a Flapple as well, because Flapple's just a funny little guy and I love him. But
you have Lopunny in all your teams.
Just so
you can look at her.
Yeah, see, the only 2 on this list that I've never ever used in all my years playing Pokemon is Low Bunny and Slowking.
You like to keep them at home instead of the battlefield.
Oh my Christ. I see. Something tells me that I feel like those last two are less of a Sean read and more of a Remington feels they're right read.
Well, all of them, I think they're right. They're all right.
Okay, interesting. Well, hey, if you agree or disagree, feel free to let us know about that. But more importantly, Rem, we have some lovely patrons to thank.
Yes, we do. So as always, we'd like to send our regards to all of our bland bitch protagonists, as well as our magical girls, who we really appreciate. But moving on, we get to our yandere waifus, who are taking a bite out of Sean's Appleton. And on that list...
I beg your pardon? I beg your pardon?
Oh, the forbidden Appleton. We have PJ's Addict makes Sean watch Alien Stage while soaking. Yandere Neko, Wolfire 56. Where's our DBZ review, you ginger fuck? West defends Judy Hopps versus Sean in defamation case. Week 1 of Revealing My Kinks until you finish Saint of Demon Slayer, BDSM. Watching Requiem for a Spoonhead at 0.5 speed. Wake up to this nightmare that will never end. Variant, totally good. Titro wants a Ghibli-related pun name, you Jesus knockoff. Titan CNH, the Susanator, the Pope. The Danish Viking will conquer the world with Orodor Zoro as my navigator. The Capybara got into grad school and will be Dr. Capybara one day. That time I got reincarnated as a podcast host and forced to weeb. That has no place in fairy tales, 100 girlfriends. Turban, Super Zoo, Stacy's mom. Sean's golden nut in the bunny butt. Sean wants to give Spoon Man a thank and yank. Sean's hair reparent. Sean's bunny insemination clinic. Sean, you don't have to be lonely because of the Patreon Sean block. Just find one to soak with you, #OneNutRollins. Sean, you can come soak in mommy.
Okay.
Sean thinks soaking doesn't count for the sister rule. Sean, thank you for being such a good sport. Sean ruined my happy sugar life when he became the #1 soak goat for his wheel cult. #OneNut. Sean Rollins, the one nut wonder. Sean, quit soaking with my grandma, please. Sean might make a Rent-A-Girlfriend account soon. Seraphim the Shark plushie. Sean's Judy jar is fermented. Who dares open it? Oh, God.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Ryan Moody, Ross Palmer, Robert Beebe, Randon Williams. Remington is right. Rem uses the drums of liberation to free all weeps from bad anime. Rem ties my mommy milkers into balloon animals. Rem is soaking with all the anime Rems. Are there more than... I only know of one. I only know one anime Rem. I'm sure there are more. But
there are, and you've met one other one, but it was from a very forgettable anime that, like, I would be able to describe it for you fully and be like, I'm not sure I've watched that, or you'd say that, or you'd say, I feel like I've watched 7 of those. Like, there's no in between.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
That checks out. Rem hate rock
I'll send you a picture of her, but you will draw a complete blank.
Rem hate rock bottom is still on top of Sean. Rem doesn't completely hate my favorite shows. Red Venom, Road Key in his arm sent to Dylan, you ginger fuck. Raptor King, Professor Fox. Pro tips out of context. I won't Google soaking, but did you know, Sean, that the heretical Bethel Church practices grave soaking? PJ Turtle, Bogwell Musico, One Nut Rollins soaking with Pope Francis and Judy. Miss Baggy Pant, Mikeka 7 Year Toe, Macaroni and Cheese Ha, Lucky Stars, the King of Moe, Link Joe Girl. Let's do rock, paper, scissors. Miska refuses to do your thinking of a wavelength between ultraviolet and infrared. Lenerd 98, King Rich Rock, Cassidy, Jax, Jam Hands, Jake Den, Ig Samurai. Is this Spoon Man or Moon Spam? Moon Spam, there we go. If you have any information on Sean's missing nut, please call your local police or call the hotline at 1-800-1-NUT-ROLLINS. If I can't fuck my sister, can I at least brush her teeth? I'm making Rem say ethnic slurs until you bring back the Chevno Musco tier. Sean, you Buell. I will never get more Ace of the Diamond, now I cry. I did the jump pump for Rem and Sean soaking. I can't believe I made an account for this. Hey Sean, your other nut is under my pillow. Tell Dylan the Nut Fairy to give me my money. Had to get glasses because my eyes suck. Gordon Ramsay's raw sausage. Goon General Sean, why is it so hard to find a goth mommy to soak in? Glenn Michael Dolan. G-Thing 72. Forest Fairy 5 isn't enough. I need 6 Forest Fairies with surprisingly pleasant line reads. Fern the Fernford. Farmer Weeb wants to remind folks that the theme for Docu Martra is fuck, I haven't been recording this whole time. Fantine. Erica McCorkle. Danielle Riot. Daddy Rob, tell me about that story about Sean's nut. Calderias. Comrade Chasey. Cheese Monkey. Cat girls are best girls, so give me them cute little paws. Call back to Sean saying Jelly is his waifu. Rock hard for Jew dudes, you have 23 hours before the piss droplets hit the fucking earth. Boring Siren. Blackout drunk before butt stuff, says Miska. Bendo Kato, Sean of Long Schlong. And every day that Raven comes to visit. says Misuka. Amazing Muffin, Aisha Gucci, a molly piece of trash. And now we move on to the Boy Wizard tier. What are they going to get this week, Sean?
Sorry, I'm sending you a picture of the Rem that you forgot about. There you go.
I ain't never seen her in my life.
Yeah. Hey, guarantee you have.
I'm going to level with you. If you just sent that image and ask, hey, Rem, what anime is it from? I would say that it was ReZero.
You mean the show with the other Rem?
Yes.
The better Rem?
Yes, precisely.
And you know this Rem as well.
Okay, yeah. The Shinigami Rem I do know.
Yeah. But this week, Rem, they're going to get... I mean, let's keep it simple, shall we? Let's give them a Pokemon from Generation 1.
All right. Well, on this list we have... Whoops, I forgot to change my username for a month and called Sean a cuck for a month.
They are going to get... Sandshrew.
Wherefore art thou, Remio? I crave thine big hole.
Ekans.
Umbrasite.
Fearow.
Truckcoon Operator number 42.
Sandslash.
That Mouse Girl.
Nidorina.
Thanks to Super Soaker Sean, my sister and I have never been closer. Hashtag don't fuck your sister.
Nidorino.
Spoonman the Aristocrat.
Clefairy.
Silent Secondary.
Ninetales.
Chilling time for Bang Dream. It's my go and Ave Mujica, says Misuka as Misuka nods in agreement.
Jigglypuff.
Sean says Soaken's best with Motion of the Ocean.
Bloom.
Scourge has Misuka and an IRL girlfriend now.
Venonat.
Sammy K is all caught up after remembering she's a patron.
Side.
Roscop.
Poliwag.
Nurkaza. Hashtag SONR. Oh, Soaking One Night Rollins.
Machoke.
Monogatari is everything you ever said you like in anime. This week it is creative, distinct, fresh, and different.
Bellsprout.
Misuka wants to know why you played Hirohikage. Why? Yells Misuka as she scolds Rem.
Graveler.
Misuka still wants to know why you played that song. Why did you play Harukage?
Slowpoke.
Misuka's a regulation listener that used to listen to Face Jam, but now listens to 100% Eat, says Misuka.
Magnemite.
Mike.
Farfetch.
Miguel De Leon.
Seal.
It's February, time for Bang Dream. It's my go and Ave Mujica, says Misuka, who is playing Haruhikage.
Onyx.
Hidden Otaku.
Hypno.
Crimson Reapers just because of the scythes.
Rabby.
Carver 271.
Electrode.
Captain Beagleboy asks Sean bullshit rule.
Executor.
Butler Rat got the 3-room, 700-foot squared apartment moving in April 1st, while Kiryu looks to be taking longer, so Sephiroth will have to wait.
Lickitung.
Brandon agrees to shake Kira's hand.
Or C.
Blood Cell thinking about changing his name to Power Cell, but is worried about the mitochondria joke, says Misuka.
Tangela.
Beethoven 1201.
Mr. Mime.
Back on that Monogatari grind.
Scyther.
Also, you get the big hole.
Electabuzz.
Alpha Papa Palpatine.
Tauros.
Allfather Uno reverses Sean, and whatever he was given this week is Sean's now.
I guess I'm getting Jolteon?
Alright, you get Jolteon. Also, Sean, I think I fucked up your list. Because it's missing an ingredient I feel is important. So Go-Go may be getting yeeted.
For what?
One sec. I'm looking for it precisely. Because Sean, you need a bird. That's what you need.
Okay. Alright. I guess I see the vision.
And so I think Go-Go is getting kicked out, unfortunately.
We'll box him.
Yeah, box him. Oh, it's between two. One or two, Sean.
Oh, God, I don't know how I feel about choosing my fate this way. Let's go with 2.
All right, okay. You also get Archon, little fossil bird.
Hey, Rem, would you believe me if I told you that's my favorite fossil Pokemon?
There we fucking go, baby. All right, there we go. So Go-Go is kicked the fuck out of here. Archon replaces it.
Yeah, what was the other option?
It was just whether or not it was evolved or not.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And it's not. You just get the little baby.
I mean, I like little baby, I like the fully grown one, so either way, it's a win.
Yeah. All right, there we go. Anyway, back to see the people who didn't listen to the patron reads. They are going to falsely think Go-Go is on your team. They won't know that Go-Go got boxed.
I see. The twists.
Go-Go gadget, Go-Go. All right, so we're going to do, for the inappropriate Joey Wheeler tier, Sean Rollins is going to give you the Pokemon type of trainer that you are, and I am going to give you a completely original Pokemon that is going to be on your team.
You're going to make a Fakemon right on the spot?
Yeah.
Okay.
We start with Rowdio.
They're gonna get... They feel like a steel type to me.
A steel type. And so, what you are gonna get is, do I need to come up with names for them, or do I need to can I just describe them?
I mean, describe them definitely, but also, like, if a name comes to you, you should just absolutely throw it out there. I mean, they can always nickname the Pokemon if they don't like the name.
All right. All right. So you get Feralorn. It's a sad steel type businessman. It's a sad business cog. All right. It's just another cog in the fucking system, man. And it recognizes how futile and hopeless it is. It doesn't feel great about it. But
so you're telling me it's an alternate evolution of Kling Klang?
Yeah. It's Kling Klang when they lose purpose.
So it's a normal steel type.
Yeah. Oh god. Next we got Pumpin.
They feel like a water type.
All right. You are gonna get Otter Blast. That is a Pokemon. It looks a little bit like halfway between an otter and a childhood Super Soaker, and it's actually used by firemen. Well, its evolution form is used by firemen. It's used just in summer fun.
It is the slip and slide Pokemon.
Yeah, everyone's just fun. Ha, a little Super Soaker, spray all your friends. Once it evolves, don't spray your friends. You're gonna rip their face off with water.
It's like a Blastoise.
Yeah, it's real bad. Next we got, I really need someone to schlonk my shit stupid style, or I'm gonna commit a minor inconvenience.
That feels like a dark type if you're asking me.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be something like this.
Like either dark or poison. Maybe a dark poison combo, let's be honest.
All right, I'm combining its name with what I had in mind. So here's the thing.
Okay.
It looks like a very pious Pokemon, all right? It's sort of nun-coded, but when it opens up, you can see giant booba, and it's Noctavine. So it pretends that it's pious and holy, but it's actually the most sexual Pokemon you ever seen in your life.
Oh no.
Next up, we got, hey Rem, how much for you to gift me, Sean?
I mean, let's go with, how about Fairy type? Fairy type sounds like fun.
All right, you are gonna get Wish Wisp. Wish Wisp. There's two variants of this one. There's a green variant and a pink variant. You see,
ooh,
and
spicy.
Yeah, and they're kind of like it's stars and clouds. That's the sort of design. It's a star with some cloudy features to it. Yeah, Wish Wisp. Then we got follow anime in a context on Blue Sky. Happened 7 years of the pod. Here's to another 7 years of anime. Remington from your social media manager. And on the unofficial Blue Sky, they linked to the mystery manifesto I made last week. So you can find it over there.
Then respectfully, they'll get the psychic type, since it usually goes against your manifesto.
I have such a good idea for this, and I hope the name is a little bit on the nose, but that's fine.
I mean, you think one of my perfect Pokemon is Cloth. And it's a crab with claws that likes to hang out on the sides of cliffs. Like, they don't need to be, like, monumental, epic level, etymologically perfect names. They just need to have, a little bit of a flavor to them. Fair.
All right. You get Fosier. This one, it's a normal type Pokemon that looks psychic. It gives everybody looks at it, is like, that's a psychic Pokemon right there. All right. And it can learn a handful of psychic moves. It is not a psychic type Pokemon.
So it learns things like agility and, and confusion and...
Yeah, it's just pretending...
No, not confusion. What's the other one?
I'll give it confusion. I'll give it... It'll get a handful of those kinds of moves.
Okay. I was thinking of the other one. The one that Slowpoke can learn. Amnesia. That's the one.
But yeah, it appears as if it's a psychic Pokemon, but it ain't. Thank you all for tuning in. If you want to reach out for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, you can tweet us at you can send an email over to animeoutofcontext@gmail.com. Hey, there's an unofficial Blue Sky as well.
Yep. Send them all the messages you like.
Do whatever you want.
Probably what. Yeah. No. Hey. What can you do? God. Well, once again, thank you all so much for tuning in. We love you all very, very much. And as always, don't fuck your sister.
Do 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 do. My bloody veiny dick just don't want to work anymore. That's the problem.
I'm not in the market of clapping gorilla cheeks. I'm in the market of clapping bunny cheeks. You shove a Pikachu next to some blocks and then she eats his ass.
You know what I'm hoping for from this series?
Horse pussy.
You're damn right. And honestly, I think about 75% of all children are expendable. Well, joke's on y'all. I don't even need to try to be a cunt. It's in my bloodstream, baby. Two.